Welcome guys, welcome to this video. In this video we're going to see the stored procedure, how stored procedure works, why we use them, and what exactly is the syntax, how you can define. At the end of this video you will be able to create a stored procedure which generates a random content like this. Here I have a stored procedure created, and that stored procedure, what it did exactly, it inserted the random generated data in this database table. So without further ado, let's get started and see how you can work with stored procedures and what exactly you need to know about them. Stored procedures are basically when you want to run some queries not from your code but database table itself. So what do? You create a function there, you write few queries, those queries will do some particular action, and you just do those. You can call stored procedure from your code as well as you can use them inside your database only as well. Let's see the examples that will make things more clear for you. Alright guys, so let's get started. First thing first, I want to go to the procedures, and in your phpMyAdmin in your local setup, if you don't have it, don't worry, we're gonna see how this all works. So what I do here is I'm gonna drop this procedure and hit OK. Now you see that procedures is no longer there, so it's just gone. So we go in SQL, and there we can execute some SQL. So here I'm going to put a statement, and this is how stored procedures are created. So let me explain what is happening here. So first thing we are saying delimiter is $$. So we are saying delimiter is $$, and anywhere in the code, if you see, we are telling this to mysql, if you see the semicolon, do statement semicolon can create issue. So we are just saying that $$ is delimiter, and if we put semicolon at the end of any statement or anywhere in between here, don't conflict. So to avoid the conflict, we use delimiter $$. Not gonna recognize semicolon as a delimiter. That's what basically this is doing. And at the end, we are storing that functionality back. So we are saying, okay, now delimiter is semicolon. That's all. So we are saying, okay, we are changing it from here till here, and in between we are doing some code, and that is our stored procedure that we are creating. Now, if you have worked with the tables, create table, then table name, it's quite similar. You say create procedure, procedure name, whatever procedure name there is, then two parentheses there, and then inside it you can pass the parameters. We will see that parameters, but for now I'm just gonna leave it like this. Then we say begin, and then we have some SQL statements going on. So we can put our statements here. Currently it's just a comment I added. You put two dashes and then your comment. So it's how you can put there. Then we are saying end $$ as a delimiter, and delimiter is stored back to this. So this is basically the syntax for it. Okay. Now let's see an example. So I have employees table here, and there is some content inside it. So I'm gonna open it in a new tab, go to employees, and you see we have data. So what I do, I go here and I say, I run a SQL statement here. All we need to do, we need to say select all from employees. Okay, and then I put a limit to it. I say limit 10. This is just to show you. This makes no sense to have 10 records and for a procedure for it, but I just want to show you how it works. So here I'm gonna run it, and procedure name in employees. All right, this is our procedure name. Hit go. Now we get an error here, and that error became because we are changing the delimiter here, restoring it here, but we're supposed to use it, right? So our SQL statement should have semicolon. So here we are saying, okay, this statement ends here with the semicolon. Now hit go. Now it completes fine. I refresh it, and you see procedures. You go inside it, there is 10 employees. You can execute it, and see the results. So what we do, we execute it. And when I execute it, we get here the success, we get the 10 employees it picked. Now, here is the syntax to call it. If you want to call it from code, from PHP or Python, anywhere, you can call like this. All right. If I copy this and go to SQL, paste it here, and run it, it does the same job. So you can also run it here. So you get the idea. Simply call and then you pass your procedure, stored procedures name. So far so good. This particular procedure is not doing much here, and it's basic. It's just getting us the 10 employees. Now let's see if I want to get an employee where the salary is more than some particular amount. Let's see that. So I'm gonna go here in procedures. We can have multiple procedures, but I'm gonna remove this one. And when we delete it, you can see that procedures are gone. So we need to rerun and redo the code here. So I put the previously added code that I used, and we're gonna edit this one. Okay, so we can say here get employees. Simple. This is going to be stored procedure. This time, as we want to have an employee of some particular amount, more than that much salary, because if we go to table here, we have the salary here. So what I can say here, basically, we can pass a parameter, salary, okay, telling that this is an input parameter. This is the integer we are telling that it is integer value we will be getting, and this is the variable name that we will be using. So here we would put the statement. So I say here select, and make sure the spellings are correct. Select all from, and we need to use where state clause here. So where salary, so there is a column salary, is more than whatever the variable we have. Now it's going to be same, so I say here salary provided. So just gonna copy this and paste it here. Okay, and then it is gonna give us an error if we won't put the semicolon, so we put there semicolon. Okay, now let's hit go. Okay, we have a procedure created. Refresh, procedure is there, and if you execute from here is the value. So the value, let's say want to have someone who is more than 61,000. Go. We get an error. Okay, we made a mistake in we need to adjust it. This is looking for employees table, and we don't have that. Sorry about that. Let's see. Go back to procedure. We can edit the procedure, click edit, and then enlarge it. There it is looking for employees. My bad, because we have employee table. So it should be employee. Update it. Go to the procedures here. So execute it. Pass here 60,000 this time. Go. Processing time, because employee table has so many records. So this is going to be resource consuming. All right. So you can, if you're testing or you're practicing, so you can see that it's executed successfully. There employees more than 60,000 salary. You can see all these employees have more than 60,000 salary. Now, if you're just testing, it's not a good idea to go through all the records like that, fetching all the records, sorry. So what you need to do, you simply use limit. That's the best thing to do. And we put limit, let's say 20. And then you say go, your procedure is updated. Now you don't need to delete it or anything. You can directly update it and execute it. Now let's put again the 60,000 and hit go. And this time it is far quicker, so you can test your practice, whatever you're doing or you're trying to do, you can do it straight away. Now if I want to call it from here, we need the procedure name. It's get employees. So we go to the SQL, and I say here call, and then get employees. obviously we need to pass here again the number. This time I passed 70,000. All right, and if you calling it from PHP or somewhere, other programming language, you can call it as well from there as well. So hit a go. We get 20, more than 70,000. You can see that everything is more than 70,000 here. So perfectly as we expect it to work. I'm hoping you got a lot the understanding with the store procedure. Now already we passed the parameter. You can pass parameter as well, multiple parameters as well, and you can work with them. So our procedure so far is doing the job. Now I want to show you another procedure. As mentioned before, it is going to generate the dummy data that we created here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to first of all delete this employee table and recreate it, or basically I'm going to empty it. So I go to operations. There we can go to truncate, and what it does, it is going to remove all the data. So I go to employees back. Now nothing is there. So there is a post I created, and the link is in the description. You can go there. It tells how to generate the dummy data content. So in the bottom of it, there are some store procedures. You can go through these, but I'm going to go and basically pick the first one first here. So here I'm just gonna copy it and paste back to here, SQL, and paste it here. Now let's get to it, what exactly is happening. You remember the delimiter, so we are saying $$ is the delimiter, and then we are saying create procedure, then we are saying insert large sample data. So this is the function name here. We are not passing any parameters. Begin, then we say declare counter, so we are declaring a variable or constant, which is int, and it is integer, then it's the default value is 1. Okay, now here we're saying, okay, run a while loop, and okay, so the while loop is going, then we have this counter variable here. It's not a constant, it's a variable, because we will be changing its value. You can see here, so constant stays the constant same value, we can't change them. And here we are saying if it is 10 less than 10,000, do this. That means the loop will do something. And here what we are doing, we are saying insert into employees table first name, last name, and all the columns. Value is going to be concatenating. Then we are passing first as a string, and we are just passing the second parameter as the counter. What is, so first time loop runs, this is going to be first one. Second time loop runs, it's going to be first, second, that way it will insert. So it will insert the data. So let's see how it works. The same way, if we go further, we're doing the same thing. We are concatenating, so it's going to concatenate all these three values together, so it will be a complete email. The same way we are doing here, we are just making phone number by concatenation. Then we have counter department. We are just dividing by 10 plus 1, so it is going to be different each time. Then we have here counter into 1,000, then 50,000, so that we have different salary each time. And this second is basically, it's 2 decimal points. Date, so we are passing a date as well. Okay, now each time this loop runs, we are increasing the counter so that once it reaches 10,000, it stops. Otherwise, it will go on, keep going on. Then we are ending our while loop. We are saying that okay, and $, and delimiter back to semicolon. Okay, now this is going to enter 10,000 records in the employees table. So if I go to employees table right now, refresh, it is empty. Okay, so now we go back here and run this. So we have a procedure created. Now you can call this procedure however you want. Now we can have multiple procedures. You can see now we have 2 here. So here I say execute. Now it is executing, and it is going to insert the data. So if I go here and refresh, okay, so this completed. Now you can see here we have 10,000 records here. Okay, the same way we have the procedure working just fine. So if I want to edit this procedure, simply go here and edit it. Okay, now this is basically, you do it in case you need to add more. You need to edit the count here. This is going to enter 100,000 records. Alright, so this is all about the store procedure there is. Now, if you want to know more about them, you can visit this post as well, where we are generating different type of content based on the column type. If you want to, it will give you the idea. You can generate the random characters, as well as then you can create some random names, which is going to be more realistic. And yeah, so you can use this post as well. I will also leave for some resources and links as well in the description, so you can follow there as well. Hope you like this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.